bang on my tank. I'm going to ask you guys to watch me, and I'll show you how we feed them and play with them. Okay, that's the first 15 minutes. All right. Second 15 minutes, you guys are going to have a go at feeding them yourself if you want to. You don't have to, but it is a lot of fun. Now, when we feed them, that first 15, I'll show you how to do it. What I'm going to do is put my hand into my little squid tub. First thing I'm going to do is make sure I have a solid fist around that squid, no dangly bits hanging out. Reason being, the stingray aren't the only things down there that want a piece of this. There's loads of juvenile reef fish around. Snappers, sergeant majors, things like that. Massive pains in the backside, okay? They have very big teeth. These guys don't. They have rigid grinding plates. We'll talk more about that in a minute. So if you get bitten by one of these, it's not a problem. But a snapper will break the skin, all right? He's not scared to do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is quickly check there's nothing hanging out. And if there is, I'm just going to poke it away, because they will take the opportunity. They'll be hovering around like that. Once I'm confident I've got a nice solid seal, I'm going to put my hand out away from my body, okay? The last thing I want is we try and attract him with a squid right here, because you're going to have a lot of stingray in your face. Remember, they're not interested in you. They want what's in your hand. Once I've got my arm away from me, I'm going to wave my fist around a bit. This guy knows the deal. He's well trained at this point. He knows it's dinner time. He's going to come straight over. Now, stingrays hunt by smell, the scent. So they're going to be smelling what's in your hand. So in order to get their attention, I'm going to put my fist right in front of their nose, just like this. You will find that once your fist is there, you now have a remote-controlled stingray. Wherever your hand goes, the stingray is going to follow, okay? Now you will notice that I'll spend the first 20 seconds leading the stingray on a merry dance. I'll do maybe a couple of figure eights. Maybe I'll bring it around my head, see if I can get it to sit on my head like a sombrero, which is a pretty cool picture. Maybe I'll go into a little nose stand, give the belly a little poke and stand up. Or do my favourite trick, because it is the easiest one. Move my fist very, very quickly away from the nose, put it on their belly. They can smell the squid somewhere, but they can't see your hand anymore. So they sit on your fist, very confused, and you can have a good old licking. The reason we're giving them a run around for the first 20 seconds, we're not teasing them. Some of these ladies here are getting a bit plump. In their world, food magically rains from the sky. They don't work very hard for it. So in order for them to get a bit of exercise, do you spend 20, 30 seconds giving them a run around, all right? When I'm ready to feed them, what I'm going to do, very important you get a distance right here. I'll explain why in a minute. I'm going to move my fist down and slightly away from the nose. About here is a pretty good distance. What I'm then going to do, completely open my hand. And then very important, you remember the next part, get your hand out of there. Okay? All being well, you should nip down, grab the squid, swim off very happy. If you release it too far away, he's not going to get anywhere near it before the snapper and sergeant major steal it. He'll be very frustrated and he'll give you a little funny look as he swims off. If I open my hand about here, or I forget to move my hand out of the way, congratulations, you're going to end up with the Cayman Islands' only free souvenir, which is a stingray hickey, or a stingray love bites. Now, if they do bite you, I want you to remember what I said before, they don't have teeth, okay? But it's a bit of a shock, a bit of a pinch to your system. What they do is suck everything in very sharply and squeeze it together, all right? So they will be attached to you quite dramatically. It is a bit of a surprise. If that happens, just remember, they're not interested in you, just the squid, okay? So resist the urge to pull away from the stingray. If you did that, you're pulling against or away from the suction. That's when you get the very human-shaped big red mark. All right, very, very human hickey looking. What I want you to do instead, push into the stingray. You should realise, if he's clever enough, that you're not a piece of squid and let go of you without marking you too much. All right, I know it's easier said than done. Most people just go, ah! But that's the full experience. I hope someone comes back with a bite. But that's how we feed them. All right. Now, if when you're feeding, you've had enough of the attention, and you don't want any more squid around you, a stingray around you, just remember you still have the centre squid on your hand. So don't sit there thinking about what you're going to have for dinner, yeah? Or, oh yeah, just got a little itch down here, something like that, because you're spreading the centre squid all over you. They're going to think they've found the biggest piece of squid in the whole ocean, and bam, you'll be very, very popular. Instead, before you do anything else, get your hands, stick them in the sand, give them a nice wash. The abrasiveness usually gets rid of the smell. Alright, so if you want a break or you're done, just do that for me, okay? Easy peasy. So you guys will be having out that for the second 15 minutes. In order to give you the squid, by the way, without you getting bitten, we're going to do something called a squid handshake. So if you want a piece of squid, I'm going to swim up to you and say, hey bro, do you want to feed some? You will say, yes please. Put your hand out nice and flat. What I'm going to do is put my enclosed fist on your open hand, gradually open it and move my hand away. You're going to do the opposite, gradually close your hand, move your hand the opposite direction. Easy peasy. And just remember that quick check. and then you're off to the races. Alright? Just trying to stop you from getting bitten by the snap or anything else. We'll try and back them away as I'm doing it as well. Alright? So that's the first half an hour. For the last 15 minutes, depending on what the conditions are like, if the current isn't too bad, the visibility is okay, I normally like to take my group for a little swim. Now all these little black bits of coral here, shallow coral bits, this is safe got the juvenile reef fish. I don't know if anyone noticed, but we actually drove past a turtle and an eagle ray on the way here. There's loads of life to be found out here if we go looking for it. We regularly see eagle rays, juvenile nurse sharks, things like that, eels, all sorts of stuff. So for the last 15 minutes, we're going to go for a little swim, meander around those coral bommies. Again, please follow along with me. Just keep a check of where the person in front of you is going. It's really easy to get disorientated and get lost and be stuck out there somewhere, okay? But that's the last 15 minutes. In total, that adds up to 45, the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed. Because we're in a WIS zone, wildlife interaction zone, the government is very, very strict on how much time we can spend in the water. We have 45 from the moment we splash. Cannot stay much longer than that, you will get told off. Alright? So when it's time to come back, please do follow me back to the boats and get yourself out of the water in a prompt fashion. Alright? Any questions from any of you guys? Everybody happy, joy? Yeah?
I probably won't be feeding because I got too much stuff going on trying to...
No worries, man. If you want to give me
I think give all of squid to him.
All the squid to him? If you want to give myself or Patty a camera to film you, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, okay.
There's going to be 2 of us down there. There's only 5 of you, so
Yeah.
no drama. Alright?
Just hand it over, yeah.
Yeah, easy peasy. Alrighty, one other thing I'll mention. It's 14 feet deep. It's a 45-minute dive. I will not be asking your air at any point, because chances are you won't even get through half the tank. That is not to say you shouldn't be checking your air from time to time. If there is a problem, just come to the surface. It's 14 feet. Amy on the boat will help us out. Alright? Cool. Just before you go down as well, when you guys jump in, because you'll be jumping in first, I would like it if you could collect yourself just down to the sand off the port side of the bow. So the left side of the boat, down to the sand there, please. Okay? Just hunker down on the sand, I'll be down there. On that note, there's no other questions. The pool is open. Wait out spins, let's get out of it.
Are you heating up in your suit? Oh yeah?
I can even go snorkeling with the whale.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't counting on it. Okay. Thank you. There's something in my back. Right behind my back here. Oh, it's my weight.